Hello, students. Today's topic is genomic library, cDNA library, and DNA fingerprinting. Before discussing of genomic library, we should know about the genome. What is genome? It's a complete set of genes in a cell or living thing. We are preparing genome library by taking restriction endonucleases, as we have discussed earlier. It's a special enzyme which is used to cut DNA at a specific location. In this process, it involves the cleavage of an entire genome of a cell with this special type of enzyme which is known as restriction endonuclease, and then we do a cloning of each fragment. So by this technique we produce a large number of DNA fragments, and which will generate millions of different colonies of transfected bacterial cells. Now these colonies, which is composed of a clone of cells, is derived from a single ancestor cell which contains many copies of a particular stretch of a fragmented genome, and that plasmid is said to be genomic DNA clone, and the entire collection of plasmid is known as genomic DNA library. So because the genomic DNA is cut into fragments at random, so some of the fragments does not contain or maybe contain genes. So many of the genomic DNA clones obtained from the DNA of a higher eukaryotic cell containing only non-coding DNA. So all of this process can be screened by a process called in situ hybridization, or you can say a particular gene is present or not, we can screened it by the process in situ hybridization, in which we used a labeled probe we use, and we can see that a particular gene is present or not. So it's a flow chart of this genomic library preparation. We take a genomic DNA, cleave it with its restriction enzymes, then we insert into vectors, and then that particular vector we take up a DNA, and that DNA get multiplied and make a clone. So it's a genomic library. Now we talk about the cDNA library. Firstly, what is cDNA? It's a complementary DNA which is synthesized from a messenger RNA, mRNA, with the use of special enzyme which is known as reverse transcriptase. As we know, what is reverse transcription process? It's a making of DNA from RNA. What is transcription? It's a making of RNA from DNA. And if we talk about reverse, mean the process getting reverse, we are making DNA from RNA. So this reverse transcriptase we isolate from retroviruses. So with the use of mRNA as a template, this reverse transcriptase synthesizes a single stranded DNA molecule. Okay, a single stranded DNA molecule we are synthesizing from reverse transcriptase, and which is used as a template for double stranded DNA synthesis. Because it is made from mRNA, so it is devoid of upstream and downstream regulatory sequences and of introns. So cDNA library is a process in which we make a clone of cDNA, complementary DNA, in which an entire collection of clones is derived from an mRNA preparation. There are important differences between genomic DNA clones and cDNA clones. Genomic clones represent a random sample of all the DNA sequences in an organism, and all the cell type is almost same, which is used to prepare. But in contrast, cDNA clones contain only those regions of the genome that can be transcribed into DNA. We don't take that region which is unable to transcribe into mRNA. So because the cells of different tissues produce different sets of mRNA molecule, a distinct cDNA library is obtained for each type of cell used to prepare the library. So we don't take that type of mRNA which is not able to transcribe. So that's the difference between genomic library and cDNA library. So this is a flow diagram of cDNA library. mRNA 5' to 3' messenger RNA, poly A tail, and by the use of viral reverse transcriptase enzyme, this reverse transcriptase enzyme, we are making cDNA, complementary DNA is formed. And now with the help of RNase H, is an enzyme which is used to break RNA from RNA DNA duplex. So it breaks the RNA and we only get cDNA, single stranded complementary DNA now. And here it forms a hairpin loop, and after that DNA polymerase first enzyme is used, which is used to ligate. This enzyme is used for the ligation or filling up the gap. It is used for the gap filling. And then we use S1 nuclease enzyme, which is single stranded specific. This enzyme is specific for the formation of single strand from to the double stranded, to form single strand to double strand. So then at lastly we get the double stranded cDNA. So this is the overall process of cDNA library. Now we talk about the DNA fingerprinting. DNA fingerprinting is also known as DNA testing, DNA typing, or DNA profiling, which is used to distinguish between individuals of the same species using only samples of their DNA. On the basis of DNA samples, we are distinguishing between individuals. This technique is mainly used in forensic labs. As you know, there are so many cases like robbery and murder. So on the basis of DNA samples we distinguish the criminal, and on the basis of DNA sample we distinguish between various individuals which are suspected. So the chemical structure of the everyone's DNA is the same. As we know, the chemical structure is same. The only difference between the person is the order of the base pair, ATCG: adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. These all are the base pairs. This is the only difference between all the organism. Hence, every person should be identified solely on the sequence of their base pair. So there are various number of VNTR, that is variable number of tandem repeats. These are highly variable repeat sequences which is present in a DNA sequence, which includes microsatellite VNTR and mini satellite VNTR. And within a species, nucleotide sequences of a repeat unit composing VNTR that are highly conserved among individual. Conserved mean it's specific. Every individual has its specific conserved VNTR. So differences in a number of repeats and thus in the length of simple sequence tandem arrays containing the same repeat unit are quite common among individual. These DNA polymorphism form the basis of DNA fingerprinting. Mean DNA polymorphism. Polymorphism mean poly mean many, and morphism mean different, many type of sequences if we get. So different DNA sequences form the basis of DNA fingerprinting. You can see by this diagram. As we are seeing that the parent 1, parent 2, these are the sequences and these are the progeny. And we have seen that we are getting different patterning of base pairs in every individual. So higher variability in mini satellites makes them especially useful for the genomic mapping. So high probability that individuals will vary in their alleles at such a locus. Usually on the basis of restriction endonuclease VNTR regions are bordered on either side. So alleles of a given VNTR differ from each other in the size of a segment cut by a restriction endonucleases, giving rise to nearly unique RFLP pattern. RFLP pattern is restriction fragment length polymorphism pattern, which is the basis of the technique known as DNA fingerprinting. And with this technique, forensic scientists have been able to find missing person, determine whether or not an individual is a parent of a child, and establish beyond reasonable doubt that a person is guilty of a crime. Mean all in a whole, we want to say that by this technique, forensic scientists can able to find out the person uh, if it is suspected. So it's a useful technique for the forensic lab researchers mean or the scientist. So that is all for today. Thank you.